Welcome to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. We are 2 out of 3 brothers being entertained through a rainbow lens.
Being entertained.
Or talking about entertainment through a rainbow lens. I'm
Yeah.
trialling, with our new format,
Okay.
I'm trialling different
I was going to say,
phrases.
you're making an assumption that was entertained
Are you not entertained?
by whatever we watched this week.
Let's have a drink.
We should have a drink.
Hard-rated orange. This is a movie review episode.
Cheers.
So we're going to have a drink.
I haven't had
Cheers.
an orange one for a while. I had one,
Saturday.
what? No, not an orange one. What week are we in? 2 weeks ago, we were at a wedding.
Yeah.
A family wedding. I had, I don't know if this person knows I had one of their drinks, but I had a hard-rated lemon mango or something mango.
If I'd
it was good.
If I'd known, because the actual solo lemon mango, I tried a couple of years ago because they were giving out free samples at Gather Round, the AFL, and I was like, oh, I want this to be on the thing. And then when they did the lemon pineapple, I'm like, oh, the lemon mango. All right, I got to get that.
Yeah, so if you know or not, Tammy, thanks for your lemon mango. I didn't take it from her. Somebody gave it to me.
There is a point in those kind of nights where
That was Friday.
There are points in those kind of weekends where everyone's drinks just become everyone's drinks.
Yep. Anyway.
I am wearing this T-shirt because this is Uma Thurman in motorcycle leathers because we're reviewing Pillion.
Yes, we are reviewing Pillion.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this T-shirt because I put it on.
Which, look, I'm going to admit, it wasn't until, I can't remember his name, Harry Melling, got on the back of the bike
Colin.
and I'm like, oh, that's Pillion.
Yeah, I didn't really, it didn't really, I'm like, who's Pillion? Do they live in Pillion?
No, Pillion is the extra passenger on a motorbike.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Then we all learnt something today.
and that's all it's about, just going on a motorbike ride with a mate.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I went into the movie going, I know it's somewhat gay, semi-BDSM.
Before we get to that, can we talk about how we watched the movie?
Okay.
Because I had nothing to do on a Monday night and I'm like, oh, I'll go and see a movie. And I was like, I'll go and see Pillion. And I was like, should I text Brett to see if he wants to see Pillion? But then I'm like, no, I do know it's a gay bit BDSM, so it's probably not one to watch with your brother.
Just talk
And
about it afterwards.
On the Monday night, it was not one for me to watch with anyone. I was the only
that's cool.
person in the theatre at 9:15 on a Monday night at the Sun Theatre in the St George's, so I sat on the
my
balcony.
favourite one.
And
I think I did that with a movie I watched. No, I was the only other movie I watched earlier this year. I was the only person in the balcony bit and there were plebs down on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
So I felt so rich.
I deliberately chose the balcony.
I always do. Why not sit in the balcony?
The back row of the balcony. The front row of the balcony isn't, you miss a tiny little bit of the screen.
Yeah.
But the back row of the balcony was good. So I saw it by myself at the Sun Theatre Monday night.
Nice.
And then you went to see it without me.
I went to see
Last
it
night.
Tuesday night. Because I thought I'll watch it, and because we have a podcast where we talk about gay shit, so we should probably talk about it.
Yes, and it's received pretty good reviews.
Yep.
Side note, I wish Meta and Google, in all of its tracking of my data, knows when I've bought something. So
Yeah.
I bought the ticket for Pillion, and obviously Google has informed Meta that I've gone to a movie website and looked at the movie Pillion.
Yep.
Since Monday night, my Facebook feed has been full of ads for Pillion.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Also, you hacked all my data. You know when my return flight from Adelaide was last week, so stop sending me ads about Adelaide. Probably not going to go there again anytime soon. Not that it was in a lovely city, but hey.
Why would you go? Well, sorry to any of our
I had to.
Adelaide listeners.
Wasn't my choice.
Pillion is a bit of a gay. It was kind of talked about as a gay BDSM thing, but to be specific about the kink,
Yep.
I don't think it is a BDSM thing.
No, it's a biker thing.
It's a biker leather, but it's more a master slave owner arrangement. There's certainly not the SM. Any
Yeah.
pain stuff. Let's not make this a
No.
kink episode.
No,
Sorry.
and I don't know enough about that subculture to talk about it, because if I do, I'll probably offend somebody with something I said that was wrong.
Well, and we are definitely not going to kink shame in this episode.
No.
In fact, I think it presents that subculture very well.
Okay.
Not from a perspective of this is not me telling you that I am into that subculture.
No, yeah.
But I think it could easily have focused on the sex stuff and the actual kink stuff.
Yep.
But the description I've seen since Monday on all the ads that Facebook has served me is that it's a romance.
No,
But it is.
but it's not. I think that whatever critic
Yep.
said the most romantic film of the year needs to seek professional help.
Look, that's not accurate, but it is more of romance than a sex movie.
Yeah, it's not about the sex. I don't think it's romance. I think it's more
But it's
like,
about the relationship.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's not a romantic relationship for me. It's
Okay.
It's a young impressionable man and a manipulative asshole.
But, and this is why I think it presents that kink and that subculture well, is that he finds, and maybe Colin had an idea of it before, but in his relationship with blank,
Ray.
thank you, he finds that he wants that. And so it's not a manipulative asshole. That's the relationship that it is that it's the master servant thing. And I think it shows well early in the movie, Colin realizing that he wants it. I didn't take the impressionable thing from it. I took the this is what he wants. But the quote, and he says it himself, I could just be a little bit happier.
I think we're disagreeing. Stop the presses if the presses still run.
Bit of applause for that.
Great.
I didn't have the sound effects fader turned up, so that was just a little bit of blank where the listener
Great.
can insert their own idea of what applause should sound like.
They're all gasping anyway, Lee,
Yeah.
so they would have not heard it over their audible gasps. My perspective was that he wasn't looking for that kind of relationship and didn't know anything about it. I suppose you could take little hints of it from the opening scene. But it was like, then I almost felt like, well, this is as good as I'm going to get. I can't leave now. I'm trapped.
I think, are we going to talk about the ending? Let's not. Let's talk about the ending towards the end so that
didn't like the
people can do a non-spoiler thing and then switch
give
off
you a
and
warning.
go back and re-listen to our episode about heated rivalry.
I'm wearing the same shirt.
The early scene where the biker group with their servants, slaves, subs, whatever we want to call them or they want to call them, he looks intriguingly at that group and looks interested in that group, completely ignoring the guy that he's actually there on a date with, who is a nice and decent looking guy.
Yeah, that his mum set him up with.
That his mum's setting up with, which is probably issue number one, but he looks intriguingly at that and has interest. And that's one thing that makes me think this is something that he likes and appeals to him. He may not have realised it until he saw it in the flesh and until Ray made him buy his crisps. But from there, I actually think he enjoys that relationship and that relationship feels right for him. And it just, with Ray, they're working through that it's not exactly what either of them want through the middle stages of it.
Yeah, I did like the shift of... Is this spoilery?
Let's go spoilers from now.
Him kind of answering back
Yeah.
and fighting back, if you will. I was surprised with how funny it was. There's
Yeah.
some actually funny bits. I
Yep.
tell you what, favorite character, the mum.
Yeah.
When they're when they have
When she
dinner,
goes off at him.
and he goes, "I think you're a cunt."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that was hilarious. And the audience, there was an audience when
Oh,
I
you had
watched
an
it.
audience?
Yeah,
Yep.
they appreciated that. So I think that's where, because if you go in going, oh, this is just this is going to be just sex, BDSM, kink stuff, which is kind of what it was marketed as, or what
Yeah.
popped up on my algorithm.
Well, I think it was probably marketed that way because if you marketed it more at the romance side, suddenly about 8 minutes into the movie, when Ray actually gets his dick out, people, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
woman
yeah.
who, when Matthew McConaughey fainted in Dallas Buyers Club, told off her husband for bringing her to that on Valentine's Day. This is not a romance.
Yeah. So I think that's when it's like kind of gets you off guard a bit, because there are funny moments.
Yep.
And there are moments throughout the movie that are like heartwarming.
Genuine.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about it. I said there were some really good moments. I think Harry Melling was really good in it.
Yep.
I think his acting was great.
I think he was well cast too.
Yeah, because he's awkward looking.
Yep.
So that helps. And I don't know what it was, but there was just something about it that annoyed me. So I left being like, oh, okay, great. You know what I mean? Like I can appreciate that it was kind of like a well-made movie,
Yep.
but I didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
But I just don't know if it's because I like couldn't relate to it in some way, or that it was just, I think I know what it was.
Okay.
They didn't explore the emotions behind it enough. What kind of sentence is that?
You've been reading books.
You know what I mean? Like, why are they? Why? What, you don't need to. I don't need to psychoanalyze them, but like some sort of more look into the psyche would have been good.
But I think the movie is a bit like, and the dinner scene where Ray says to the mum, like, your values you shouldn't be putting on your son.
Yes, just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's bad for your son.
And
Something
so
like
I
that.
think the bit of not explanation and not delving is a bit of a presentation of this kink and soul cub
subculture.
as being like, some people are into this and they're just into it.
Yeah, I just
And
think it would have
some-
made a better movie.
Some people are into it as dom, some people are into it as subs, and it is what it is. And this is a relationship within that where both of them are caught off guard by things they weren't expecting in the relationship. So
Yeah.
obviously, as now we're big spoiler, when Ray leaves at the end, he's caught off guard by having feelings.
When they kiss and the girls cheer in the audience,
God.
they clap. People clapped. I'm like, I rolled my eyes. I was like, get the fuck out.
So I wonder how those girls feel when then instantly the next scene is Ray has moved out of his house.
Yeah.
Not just broken up with him.
No, just gone.
Basically, he's
Didn't
on the
break
run.
up with him. He just ran away.
And I think that's kind of showing maybe, yeah, it isn't delving into his emotional reasons behind it, but there is the emotions of obviously Ray can't deal with feelings and so fucks off. Why that is, we don't know, but I'm okay with not knowing. But you're saying you would like to know?
I just didn't like, I think because throughout I felt that Colin didn't choose this kind of relationship. It kind of, I don't want to say got forced upon him because that seems unconsensual, but he ended up there. That then at the end, when he's all like, I still want that kind of relationship, just not as hard. I was like, dude, did you learn nothing?
Well, no, I think he did learn, and I think he did choose.
Yeah, but he
Because
chose...
every time he does it badly, like he gives the bad blowjob, right? But then he still says, I'd like to practice with you. That blowjob in the alley, it's very clear what type of relationship this is going to be. He makes him lick his boots.
Yeah.
And then they do the wrestling or whatever the night, and then he's bad at the sex.
I don't know.
And then he wants to come back because Ray says, don't come back before 6. And Colin's like, oh, tonight, should I come back?
Yeah, do
and
my
he
shopping for
seems
me.
happy and excited and into that. And then I think the ending where he changes his profile to say, I won't cut my hair and I need a day off, that is his learning.
Yeah, I still don't like it. I get that that's what they were going for, that it was like some sort of growth,
Yeah.
but I felt he got there, he didn't choose to end up where he ended up throughout the movie.
I think he did.
So we're disagreeing. But maybe if they wrote it better, we wouldn't be disagreeing and we would understand.
But maybe they wrote it so that there is a room for interpretation.
Maybe.
That's what literature type things do.
Maybe.
That's art, Brett.
Ugh, art.
Sometimes, shock, cinema is art.
Please. I don't know how I feel about... So, Alexander Skarsgård, very good. I didn't enjoy him as much as the woman in front of me did, who made several noises. When you first see him on screen or something, and she just went like, oh, I'm like, bitch, calm down. You're with friends.
Well, and you're in public.
You're in public. And I'm just like, ugh. And then the gays next to me laughed at her. And
How'd she react when he took his jacket off?
I think there was another kind of groaning noise. So it was... So I think she's an Alexander Skarsgård fan, and that's potentially why she went and watched it. And then right at the end, she was like, she turned to her friends and was like, we have so much to talk about. It's like, okay, great.
I heard someone say the same thing coming out of Marty Supreme on Monday night.
Well, that's because there was so much going on in the span of 2 hours that you didn't quite understand what was happening.
I haven't seen it yet. I might see it tonight, actually. Alexander Skarsgård is very good. He's a very different type of good-looking to Bill.
Who's Bill?
Bill Skarsgård, his brother.
Sorry. That was not on purpose. People will know, we've got our Skarsgårds confused before.
Yeah. And Peter, different again. He's not a Skarsgård.
He's not even a Skarsgård. He's a Sarsgaard.
Yeah. But my only real problem with Alexander Skarsgård in this movie is that he sounds so much like Stellan. And we've just watched recently the one...
Sentimental Value.
Thank you. Fuck, why can't I have names tonight? I've just watched Sentimental
Clearly
Value.
left an impression.
Which is a very different type of role for a Skarsgård.
Not for... actually, yeah.
Well, to watch Stellan and hear Stellan, right, even though for most of it he's speaking Icelandic or Norwegian.
Swedish. Isn't it like he's Swedish?
But it's set in Norway.
I don't know. And then Elle Fanning's there doing a thing.
Yep.
Anyway.
Alexander at moments sounds like Stellan Skarsgård, and it was just a little bit of a like, oh, it sounds like that alcoholic meant to be in love with his daughter's dad from Sentimental Value.
Yeah, because it was interesting because he still had that Swedish accent, Alexander, and they were like, oh, you're not from here, where are you from? And he's like, Twopshire or whatever.
I was about to say that reminded me of that coffee ad from the 90s.
And then I think that, like, that's funny for him not to go like Sweden.
Yeah.
But you know what else? This is going to sound weird that I think maybe wasn't great casting of him. Mm-hmm. I think he's too attractive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was just like, compared to everybody else on the screen, no offense to anybody else on the screen, but pretty much compared to anybody else on the screen, it's like completely different look.
Well, I think that's a point And one of the other subs at that camping weekend or whatever says he's impossibly handsome.
Well, the guy from the Scissor Sisters.
Oh, that's who he was. I'm like, oh, that looks familiar. And I should have known that because I even read an article saying about an interview with Jake Shears where he said how much he enjoyed being in the movie. And I think it is a thing that is impossibly handsome. And if I'm going to continue putting my interpretation into the movie, which I think the movie opens it up for.
It's art.
It is art. You can tell it was art because I was the only person in the cinema. That's what gives away that it's more of an art house film. And I
can tell it's art because it's not at Hoyt's.
And it was funded by the National Lottery in Britain, which seems to be the only way that independent movies get made in Britain.
Yep.
If they're not fully funded by Channel 4 or the BBC. The handsomeness of him, I think, can make us go, he could have anyone he wants.
Yep.
But maybe he hasn't had a long-term sub because he can't deal with feelings. Because he gets a little while, gets some feelings, and then moves. Obviously, he's not from England. He's probably moved out of a house in Sweden where a sub's been sleeping on his doorstep waiting for him to come back.
I think probably. But yeah, I think that, he can't deal with his feelings. That was made abundantly clear. By you kiss and then you fuck off.
And I think that handsome adds to he's hot and can get anyone, but he's still not found what works for him because he can't deal with his feelings.
Yes. I did interpret it that way.
Oh, so that bit we're the same on.
Well, that was obvious.
Yeah, okay. And then I think... Do we think Colin gets a happy ending?
Nope.
Not in an ejaculatory sense.
I was going to say, he didn't ejaculate once, did he? Well, potentially. There's hope. If that's really what he's looking for, then there's hope with the guy who was watching a random soccer game. He wasn't even playing soccer.
No, I think he'd already played his game and he was watching his mates. That's why
that's why it was early. Because his mates, he didn't want to see his mates didn't want to see him.
Or he wanted him to come towards the end of the game so he could just be like, I'm not being catfished, let's go.
Yeah.
I did think it was going to be, I've seen you in person, you're not hot enough, no.
Yeah.
I thought that was a potential ending. But I think because I think Colin has realised that he wants this type of relationship, I think it is not a fully happy ending because obviously he loves Ray.
Yeah.
But it is him still being able to, and growth, being able to stay in that type of relationship, just with a different guy.
Yes, okay.
And he has to cook for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like okay, we get it, woo. But I suppose it was meant to come off as a somewhat happy ending. It just annoyed me. I was like, dude.
It was a consolation
seriously?
ending.
Yeah, maybe that's a better word for it.
But it wasn't a happy ending because you didn't think he wanted to be a sub.
Yes. So of my interpretation of it, he really should just reevaluate his choices in life. That sounds like kink shaming.
No, but if with your interpretation is he doesn't actually want that and think that's the best he can get.
Yeah, well, that was what I kind of took from it.
Then he's not making the right choice.
Yeah, I was probably wrong, but that's my interpretation.
But it's art.
Well, art
you can be not wrong. You can't be wrong.
You can't be wrong when you for arts for gratis grati.
Yeah. Arts gratis artis.
With a
Is
V
that right?
as the U. Gratis son grati. I just made that up.
Well,
what is we're talking about the MGM.
What is the Amazon company MGM?
Yeah.
Slogan?
I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere for a while.
Arts for art's sake. Art gratis art. Hang on. I can look it up. No.
I just grabbed the Gone with the Wind
because it's the oldest film
because I
that's
thought it was MGM.
MGM.
Warner Brothers? I don't think so.
slogan.
Gosh, what an old DVD.
Ars
It's double-sided.
gratia artis.
Ars gratias, yes.
Ars gratia artist, art for art's sake.
Yeah. So art in Latin is art.
Well, ars, A-R-S.
Oh, A-I-S, sorry.
I didn't want to say arse.
Okay.
Ars
Because that
gratia
would be too blue for this episode.
artis. Artis, once the verb is conjugated. Art for art's sake.
I back on the movie.
Please.
Look, it had its moments that I enjoyed.
Yep.
I think that it was well made. I think there were weird, like there was like, ooh, we're riding on a bike and my hand is on your shoulder. I was like, ugh.
See, that was feelings.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't like feelings, Lee.
You
They
just
make
said
you
you
feel
wanted
things.
feelings.
No, I wanted psychoanalysis.
No, you wanted Harry Melling to look at the camera and say, I am doing this because my mum is a bitch. Or some reason. You
Yeah,
wanted
I
to be
wanted-
told the reasons.
Yes, I wanted reasoning.
Okay, that's not what art is. You can interpret. You make it yourself.
Well, I interpret it as kind of
Like,
mid
why does the Mona Lisa not smile?
because she doesn't want to be there.
Because she isn't, maybe
She doesn't have fucking eyebrows.
because she's
She's been shunned from the Italian society because she doesn't have eyebrows. Now she'd be a big hit. Well, she is. But when she's not getting like paint or something thrown at her.
I thought maybe she was in a subdom relationship with Leonardo and she didn't want to be there.
She didn't want to be there.
That's why she's not smiling.
And he's like, she wanted to. He's like, don't smile. Now make me an omelette. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And let's wrestle.
One-
Shave your eyebrows off for me.
Shave your eyebrows off and let's wrestle. One
Not
moment.
implying anything about Leonardo, by the way. Apparently he was gay anyway,
No.
so Mona Lisa was not his type.
There you go.
It's not even her real name.
No, it's not even Lisa. One scene I did like that was interesting. You know when it's like, comes second, like we're having our day off,
Yep.
and he was like, "What do you want to do?"
Yeah.
And Colin was like, well, should we go for a ride? He's like, no. Like, so that's when it means like Colin can't make a decision for himself.
I think even before that, what do you want to do? And Colin's first response is, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I think that shows that Colin,
That he emotionally
Does.
manipulated him and to be unable to make his own decisions.
I think that
because he got forced into a relationship that he didn't want to be
shows
in.
that Colin has an aptitude for devotion.
That is the most barf-worthy fucking line.
I think
I am not a romantic. Anybody that's listening probably already knows this, but it's like I don't hate love. I'm just going to put it out there.
okay.
But stuff like that makes me puke.
In your interpretation, that's Ray telling him that as a compliment to manipulate his emotion, to emotionally manipulate him, to give him some positive reinforcement of what he's done so that he continues to
back.
do it.
Yep.
In my interpretation, I think he actually does have an aptitude for devotion and feels that and likes being devoted.
I think that he just got forced into a relationship and then he felt so bad about himself that he could not do anything better and he could not get in another relationship, so he stuck with it.
Ray gives him a couple of opportunities to leave.
Does he?
He says, if you want to go, you can go.
When does he say that?
At the 47-minute mark.
Oh, is that when I was groaning? Ugh.
When he's reading on the
I
couch.
did a few of these. You would have hated watching it with me because I did a few of these. Like when we watched The Matrix. The newest one, not the actual good
Like
one.
when you watch any movie. I think we disagree. I think we disagree on the quality of the movie. You said mid. I rate it more highly.
I think because I didn't enjoy how it was told, which is a very broad way of saying because that's what the movie's about. I don't think it delved deep enough into the actual kind of like relationship. So if I'm getting annoyed at it because I don't know if he wanted it, well, I suppose that's what they were trying. They didn't want to explicitly explain it.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, well, I understand this now.
I think in modern cinema, leaving a movie without being told what to think is, I'm not saying this is you, in general, I think leaving a cinema without being told what to think is very uncomfortable for people.
Yeah, it's like when I left Marty Supreme and I was like, I couldn't think if Timothée Chalamet was good or if he just didn't stop talking for 2.5 hours. What's acting?
Yeah, okay.
The amount of words you say or how you say them? That's basically the Oscar debate this year because there's a couple of movies that are for Best Actor where some of them talk a lot and some of them don't talk much at all.
Yeah. It will be interesting. We will have our Oscars episode coming up soon. Maybe This is the problem. I don't want to get sidetracked onto Oscars because we were going to keep this episode short. You again, right, as the Oscars person, get to see all the good movies and you're happy to pay the $20 to go and see them at the cinema because they're good movies.
Uh-huh.
The only worst picture nomination from the Razzies that I could watch without hiring was Snow White. Sorry, Disney's Snow White.
Disney's Snow White. Yeah.
And I'm like, again, I'm not paying $6.99 for something that's been nominated for 4 Razzies.
Whereas I could watch something for $6.99 that's been nominated for 4 Oscars.
Well, you could watch something for $6.99 that was nominated for 11 BAFTAs but didn't win any.
What was that?
I can't remember. I think it was Marty Supreme.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, Marty Supreme didn't win anything because Sinners won stuff, One Battle After Another won stuff.
Yeah.
It must have been Marty
So
Supreme.
Marty Supreme is tied for the most losingest BAFTA movie.
Oh, that's what that clickbait headline meant.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it didn't say Marty Supreme. It said Timothée Chalamet.
okay.
And I'm like, what, 3? Like how many BAFTA nominations has he got? It's because he hasn't won one.
Oh, okay.
So we have gone off track. The headline of the article, which the clickbait was, Timothée Chalamet sets record for most BAFTA losses ever.
Well, that's incorrect because Marty Supreme equaled the record for most BAFTA losses ever because it was nominated for 11 and didn't win any.
And I knew it was clickbait because I just went, he's probably only maximum been nominated for like 4 BAFTAs, I reckon.
Max.
Like,
Call Me By Your Name.
Call Me By Your Name, Potentially Beautiful Boy,
Marty Supreme.
and Bob Dylan, right?
Surely Interstellar. For some reason, everyone is talking about Timothée Chalamet in Interstellar all of a sudden.
Oh, because it's good. Don't get me started on Interstellar. We don't have time.
Look, one of the guys at the gym, Zane, sorry if you're listening, he's only just watched Interstellar.
I only watched it last year.
And he now is like, it's my favourite movie ever.
Really? I watched it and went, oh, fuck, that was 3 hours of my life I'm not getting back.
And he's like, I'm going to watch it again. It's my favourite movie ever. I'm going to wait and see if it's at IMAX so I can watch it at IMAX.
I think before I make friends with people, I'm just going to ask them, what's your favourite movie? And if they can't think of one, I'm probably not going to be a friend.
Okay.
Maybe I have to reevaluate my friends list.
Follow them on Letterboxd first.
None of them have Letterboxd.
Well, they're your problem. You need to make friends through Letterboxd.
Great.
I got to add Pillion to Letterboxd and I'm going to give it 4 stars.
I'm giving it 3.
Okay.
Which isn't as bad as probably what everybody was thinking, the way I talked about it. But it was a well-made movie and it had some moments in it I really liked. It was just something about it really pissed me off and I can't put my finger on it.
On my 2 out of 3 brothers rating scale, it's a 3.75.
Okay.
But on Letterboxd, I'm going to give it a 4 because I don't want to give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's higher than a 3.5. It's a 3.75.
Yeah.
So I'm rounding up to 4 on Letterboxd rather than rounding down.
Okay, great.
I think it was well written. I think it was well acted. And I think I like art for art's sake, ars gratia artis.
Ars gratia. I'm going to get that tattooed.
No, you're not. Because you're going to walk into a tattoo parlor and go, can I have ars gratia artis?
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
And the guy
that
in
means.
Bali will know exactly what I mean.
And you'll even get the lion, and it'll look like
It won't look like a lion.
plush Simba toy that's been through the washing machine 45 times.
Oh, Simba.
Simba.
So Pillion.
Pillion. It also means being the passenger on a motorbike.
It also means sitting on the back of a bike.
The sex was a little bit more graphic than I
I'm
thought.
surprised none of them have little sidecars, actually. Little two fat ladies.
It's less intimate.
Yeah, but it seems more, you could just like kick them off.
If you've had enough, you just pull that
Yeah, you
pin.
just pull the lever
and
and they go off into the pond.
Did you expect Colin to crash when he stole the bike?
Yeah, but I feel like it was setting that up for that like 4 times during the movie.
When he was riding on his own, I'm like, he's going to crash. And then
Because then
it
it got to that like stop sign.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not going to stop. But then he stopped. And then he's like, he's going to go at the wrong time. And then he just didn't.
And then he just woke up on the steps.
Yep.
Anyway, that's Pillion.
Pillion.
It's not nominated
Let us
for
know
this
your
stuff.
No.
Let us know in the comments
It was
what you
nominated
think.
for a BAFTA for what there's some category of like best debut by a director or writer or something.
Well, writer and director.
Yeah, it was something like that. So
Next week, we've got a few things to talk about. I'm going to watch Marty Supreme.
Yep.
I'm going to try and watch another Razzies movie, but I also want to talk about, they talked about the movies that Scary Movie 6 is going to parody.
if they don't do
and
Mia Goth,
You
freak the fuck
can talk about Scrubs as well.
yes, and I will determine next week if I do or do want no scrubs.
Thanks for listening to another episode of
wasn't right.
Rainbow Popcorn.
I undouble negatived it when I should have kept the double negative. I don't want no scrubs. I have to talk through this. Do I want scrubs or do I not want no scrubs? That means the
that's-
same thing.
Next week, you will announce
If I want or
if you don't want no Scrubs.
yeah.
Because in the context of that dialect of English,
Mm-hmm.
don't want no isn't really a double negative.
No, because she
It
doesn't
means
want a scrub.
doesn't mean any.
Because a scrub is actually a guy that can't get no love from her. So
Exactly.
she's also then double negative again.
Which means it's a
And if you can't spatially
Positive.
expand your horizon, then that leaves you in a class of scrubs ever rising.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you thought about Pillion. And we'll be back next week to chat about some more stuff. Hopefully, for the commenters out there, I didn't interrupt too much this week. But keep commenting and we will chat more about movies and TV next week. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lee.